Hey, welcome back to Real Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us. How was your weekend?
It was full of Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Well, it was a good weekend.
Good weekend? Just
I think
a normal
so.
kind of weekend?
Yeah, family,
Good.
life, church, good stuff.
Okay.
I think. Shopping,
Good.
voting.
On the weekend? Have you voted yet?
No.
Oh, I
I'm
did.
not. Did you vote already?
Mail in.
Mail-in vote? I'm an in-person voter.
Oh, nice. I've never done that.
Seriously.
Never.
In all your days, you've never voted
Never
in
voted
person?
in person. Always mail in.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We really are different. I have never voted in by mail
Really?
before. Never. I like the booth. I like the smell of an election. I like the feel of it.
Do you hear people looking at you?
I was a poll worker.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I worked the polls. I did that for a number of years and really liked it. So, yeah, no, I'm a good poll guy.
All right.
So,
That's for next time. Halloween was this weekend.
oh, Halloween.
Did you dress up?
I dressed up like my favorite political character.
You did?
I did.
Okay. What's your best costume as a kid? Let's go.
I remember I was a computer back. I was a Commodore 64.
Wow, that is lame.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
What, are you kidding me? I was a Commodore 64. That was like cutting edge back in the day. Cutting edge. What were you? Halloween costume.
I don't know if I have any good ones. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I'm Kit Kat.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good one.
Yes.
You know, the number
about-
one Halloween candy, like the number one selling candy, Skittles. I take
Really?
it or leave it.
Really? Are you go with
I like
the
the
chocolate?
chocolate side,
See,
yes.
I would prefer the chocolate. myself,
Reese's, like
too. Yeah.
that would be
Some
the top
of the people
list.
that are watching this will remember Mary Jane's. Do you remember Mary Jane's?
I'm not familiar.
Jenny, show them a picture of Mary Jane's. Nobody wants Mary Jane's. Like, you just don't want it.
But that was what?
Oh, it's disgusting. I think it
People
was.
put in your
I
bag?
think the dentist put it in because it's one of those like kind of taffy type candies. When you bite into it, it rips your teeth out. So
Oh,
I'm pretty
I don't
sure
like-
it was
yeah, I don't
placed
like
there
those.
by, dentists to try to drive up more business.
I don't like those.
No, I'll stick with chocolate.
Some people hand out like pencils and stuff.
Did anybody hand out masks this year?
Masks?
I heard people were sending candy down like PVC pipes.
Oh yeah. Someone in my neighborhood, they put pieces of candy out on their front walkway. Like kids were just like, what are they, animals?
2020 is
weird, man.
It's impacted even Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
But that's all we have to talk about.
Yeah, I stepped on a Lego this weekend.
Oh.
That's awful.
Did you?
Have you done that?
I have.
Worse than childbirth.
What would you?
I don't know, but I'm standing on it. I want comments. Worse than childbirth? Yes or no? Stepping on a Lego. Terrible.
Did you curse?
No, my kids were there, but I went down like someone
I
shot
was
me.
going
Like
to-
I
I
got
thought maybe
picked
this was
off.
confession. I didn't know
No.
this was going to be confession. You had
No.
to confess your sins to your priest.
No, I was running, chasing my kids, playing, stepped on a Lego.
Wow, this is a real talk.
It was like sniper rifle took me out. Let's talk about this. So it's election week, and here's what's fun. We're actually filming on Monday.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the election, and Wednesday is when you will see this. And so I think we have to say congratulations to President. We don't know.
I do feel prophetic in this moment.
Oh,
I think
good.
I'm going to make a prophetic call and say to everyone, is the new president.
Nice.
No, I'm not gonna. No.
So let's play it this way. Folks are watching, and their candidate lost. Now what?
Wow, tough question.
Right?
So the person that you really wanted, the person you voted for, lost the election. What do you do now? Man, that's tough.
Especially in this
Yeah.
climate where we're hearing this is the most important election of our time, which every generation says at some point. But we're hearing that, so the temperature is like being jacked up on this thing. So when your candidate loses, then it feels like totally deflating,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So what do we do with that?
Yeah, and it seems like, again, we're all projecting what we think, but it seems like the country's divided. Like, I'm not sure if it's divided 51, 49, or is it divided 45, 49? I mean, like, but it's just divided. Everything seems, so everybody watching right now, you're probably, like, half the group is probably disappointed, and half the group is probably happy. So I automatically, in these kinds of situations, when you're disappointed, I go to Proverbs 13:12. Just kind of a really easy one to remember, that when your hope is deferred, it gives you a level of heart sickness. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. And so I'd imagine on Wednesday, November 4th, there are people feeling heart sickness because they had a hope for a certain candidate and that candidate lost. And that makes them feel a level of sickness. Like you feel uneasy, you feel ill, you feel like throwing up, you feel like
what's
like
going to happen now?
You don't want to get out of bed.
Fear.
So I would imagine that there's people waking up today thinking, oh my gosh, the worst thing in the world has just happened.
Yeah.
That's a tough feeling.
Will we actually know on Wednesday?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so too.
Who knows?
I hope there's just such a clear
I agree.
path forward. That's
so that we can
so we can move forward
together
as a country.
Yeah.
Together. That's my hope.
I look at a number of Bible verses that sort of give me peace, give me hope in this. I mean, in Daniel, where God says that, or where the word says that God places kings, he deposes kings and lifts others rulers up. It's like, God really, he really still has ultimate authority. And we have to believe that. And if Daniel can write that, who's been enslaved by this horrible, wicked king, I mean, okay, I'll stand on that to the best of my ability at least. I mean, Jesus tells the rulers in John, he says, you have no authority except for what's been given to you. It's like, so God is at work in
he's
all
not
of
sleeping
this.
through all this.
No, it's not like God's candidate wins or loses. This doesn't work that way. God puts rulers into place. He puts people in places of authority.
And we've heard that throughout election season. I think it's good to caveat that we don't know the mind of God. So to answer that question, even in Daniel, and go, well, if he puts people in places of authority, if he raises up kings and deposes kings, if he raises up leaders and deposes leaders, we don't know why. It's easy to be like, well, he did it because. It's like, well, we don't know why this candidate won and that candidate didn't. We could make a projection, we could give an honest thought, but we don't know what God is actually doing, because in the Bible we see examples of him raising up some leaders to do things that you're like, why would you raise him up to do that?
Right.
But it was for God's bigger picture design, that he in his providence says, I'm utilizing this leader for this season for this reason. And there's comfort in knowing God's not asleep at the wheel.
Yep. So if your candidate loses, let's assume your candidate loses. Listen to this. Romans 13 says, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there's no authority except that which God has established. The authorities exist, or that exist, have been established by God. So your candidate loses. Is that still true?
I mean, this is where, do you believe and trust God and not what you see or feel? Again, the reality of we don't know why he raises up and deposes in these situations, but I know I can trust him. So yeah, I woke up November 4th or November 5th or whatever day we know, and I can trust you, God, with whatever. I can trust you. You're trustworthy.
Yeah.
It's comforting, really helpful.
So practical. We've been in this election season and we've been saying here on Real Talk, like we were ready to be done with it, right? Is there a chance to get back or to get forward? Let's not even say back. Let's say to move forward towards civility of any sort. I mean, because let's be honest, like what we're watching, okay, let's just call it what it is. There's two 80-year-old dudes acting like children in a lot of ways, okay? Like, sorry, but I mean, it's awful.
There's so much mud, just negative.
Name calling. In both directions. Like, again, it's not about whose fault this is or whose side does it worse or whatever. In both directions.
Yep. And the undertickets, not even just at the presidential level.
Right.
We're seeing that play out at the Senate and Congress and local levels.
So trickle all the way down.
Is there a path forward where we could just go, we don't need to do this to each other anymore? I mean, I think we need to find that path.
But don't you think everyone says they want to find that path, and yet I don't feel like we're any closer to it? Does anyone say, you know what I really want is less civility? Like I really want to mix it up even more than we already are. I love the mudslinging.
Let's throw people under the bus a little bit more.
Right. No, nobody's saying that.
But what's it going to take?
I don't know, because it doesn't seem like anyone's willing to give. It doesn't seem like anyone's willing to be humble and give a little bit.
So do you think there's going to be some sore losers and some sore winners?
Well, I mean, that's the other side of this, right? So flip it around. You're candidate one. What do?
I mean, I hate cocky winners. In any sport. Like if you're good, my sons are athletes, if you're good at sports, you don't need to be cocky about it because everybody know you won. Like you got the ability. So like I don't like, just as much as I don't like a sore loser, I don't like a cocky winner.
Right.
And so yeah, if your guy won, are you just like going into the office and beating people up? And because half the office agrees with you and half the office disagrees with you.
Right.
And so it's like, man.
And might be scared and might
nervous.
be really concerned about what's going to happen.
Yep.
So how do you be sensitive to that?
I think there's some people that are rightfully scared on both sides. If the other guy wins, they're scared.
Yeah.
If their guy wins, they're happy. But yeah, you're going to be a part of causing more division because you're a cocky winner or because you're a sore loser.
So just try this on, see what you think about this. My thought is, in a lot of ways, if we want to move forward, it comes down to some individual level of responsibility. That the best thing we can do, us, all of you, the best thing we can do is really personal, and it's actually about our personal accountability. And my thought is this: if we would all lower the temperature in our own lives around this topic. So maybe you're amped up for the election right now, and like you're super excited, and you're all about your guy, but come Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, could you lower the temperature in your own life? If everyone did that collectively, communally, it might actually like cool down a little. What do you think? Try that on.
I feel like you're exactly right. And if the Church of Jesus Christ, everyone who's watching this, if you're a son or daughter of the King, if we're not lowering our temperature and trusting in the King of Kings, then what can we expect from everybody else? I mean, shouldn't we be leading the way?
Right.
Shouldn't the fruit of the Spirit of love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness, self-control, shouldn't that be on our forefront of what we are and how we live regardless of who wins?
Right.
I think the fruit of the Spirit isn't conditional on my candidate winning or my candidate losing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I think that fruit is supposed to be evident in my life regardless of what's going on politically in our country.
Yeah.
Seems like, right?
Yeah, it's good. I keep thinking about just that verse. So much as it is possible, live at peace with all men.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that this is going to be easy.
Right.
There's real reasons why we disagree on political things. There's real passion that we have, but there's a way to harness it that's full of grace and filled with the Holy Spirit. So let's be that kind of group of individuals and the Church of Jesus Christ. Let's lead the way towards peace, not more mud throwing. You know what I was thinking? I'm going to try this week to throw as much negative comments at you as possible. Could you?
Thank you.
Could you? Do you think you could reciprocate?
Sure.
Let's do a negative ad campaign, Joe and Brad.
Okay, I like it.
That'd be fun.
Oh man, so I don't know what day it is that you're watching this, but I can't wait to hear your comments.
Yep.
They're going to be good. And God is still in authority.
Yep.
Right?
We can trust him.
Good.
We can trust him.
See you next time on Real Talk.